All right, leading the break, episode 2. Welcome, your hosts Ben. This is Richard. We got Matt Scherer on.
Matt Scherer's here, baby.
About time.
Woo! Missed the opening show. We're pumped.
We're back.
We're pumped.
Yep.
Bigger and better before.
Bigger
than ever.
Better than ever.
It's hard to go down from the first episode, so we're setting our bar exactly as high as we should.
Which, for those of you watching, can only get higher from here.
Hey, we have 6 subscribers on YouTube, so 6 people are going to
I
watch
appreciate
this.
all 6
I love you. And only one of them is me.
We all love you. Don't worry about us.
I don't even think Ben subscribes to me.
I don't think I do. Honestly, I don't think I do. I need to get on that.
We don't subscribe to our own page.
Subscribe to your own lives.
We're fans of ourselves.
Yeah, we have to be. If we want to live. Anyways, college football, first couple weeks, getting this out of the way with all the super teams coming together and playing each other in the first few weeks. It's really nice. You're not gonna have those super teams. You're gonna have those late season playoff busters. You know, you're just getting everything right out of the way, and then also you're having the top teams fight each other for a better spot, and it's overall just going to look better throughout the season. That's the way I like it. That's the way I think it should be. It should have been that way the last few years. With Florida State playing Alabama last week, and then tonight with Oklahoma, Ohio State, it's going to be a good season. I'm feeling a good season this year.
Who's taking tonight? Ohio State, Oklahoma. Who you got?
Gotta go Oklahoma. Big Michigan fan over here.
In the shoe.
In the shoe. I'd love to see Oklahoma take them.
Early upset in the season.
Very early upset.
I think the key to that is going to be Lincoln Riley. It's his second game as a head coach. He's like 33. Very young. Bob Stoops abruptly retires. He's the key because he's never coached in big game scenario before. The Big 12 doesn't have a team like Ohio State. This is their best game of the year. Oklahoma's going to run through the Big 12, or at least they should. I don't know any. I mean, Texas lost to. Did they lose to last week? I don't even know. Not
They
good.
lost to, I don't remember.
I don't either. I'll look it up.
Taking Ohio State. Got the second best football coach in college football.
I agree. And I'm also taking Ohio State. But to your point, I think the playoff helps with these games because a one-loss team can get in to the playoff and maybe a 2, depending on how the Big Ten goes this year. Because I don't think they'll leave the Big Ten out.
No, not sure.
But a one-loss team can get in, but you have to play good teams.
Yes.
Like if you have Washington's schedule, which is like 126 out of 130, if you lose one game,
You're done.
you have no chance.
Yeah.
They're playing one ranked team this year. It's not even USC, it's Stanford.
They're playing USC this
No.
year. Oh, my
It's on the other side of the division.
Oh, that's right.
But I mean, they'll play them in the Pac title game if
If they
USC
make it, yeah.
reaches there. That's a good game tonight too. USC Stanford tonight.
It is. Hopeful for that.
I don't even know who to pick in that game. I mean, Darnold's good, but Stanford, they always can play well in big games. But I like that. And it also, when you have bigger games early in the season, you don't have these teams going 10-0, playing nobody, and all of a sudden they're in the talks.
Yeah.
You got to play somebody. There's not a lot of weak schedules this year. Yes.
No, there isn't.
Well, you're wrapped up to get Alabama automatically. So you fight for 3 spots.
I mean, even with one loss, Alabama's probably in.
Anyway, basically college football.
All right.
Over in baseball, Cleveland Indians won 17 straight today, and they did so using 5 pitchers. Josh Tomlin went 5 innings today, and they won 17 games. They're not losing anytime soon. They got Trevor Bauer on the mound tomorrow, Jeremy Hellickson. That'll be win number 18. And then they have Detroit, who is a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, they are.
They've had 2 exciting wins in the last month.
Must be a city fire. My God.
Cleveland going against Matt Boyd, Miles J, and Buck Farm. Ben Sheehan, Richard Kowalski put up just about as better numbers than those 3 could.
He'll be a coach.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. Never
So-
played a day of baseball in my life, but I think I'm ready. I'm ready to step up to the big league.
Can you pitch a ball 90 feet?
Oh, jeez, that's the question.
Well, you don't need to pitch that far. If you can, you're good.
Like
As long as you can throw the ball about 50 miles per hour. Better than what those 3 could do.
Might be touching about 30 or 40 right now. See?
So to sum up the Tigers' season, they will give Cleveland their 21st win, which will be the longest winning streak in the last 80 years or something
Like
since
that.
it's been
In the
recorded.
expansion era,
Yeah.
they didn't track before that, which was 61.
So when you can have your starter go 5 innings and still manage to win 17 straight, give us something good. With that being said, I still do not have them going to the World Series.
Monsters.
I'm taking Houston. I
That's
think
fair.
Verlander is everything that team needs.
Yes.
I think that is going to be a great ALCS matchup. That is my ALC matchup right now. But I'm taking that offense. You got the best hitter in college Wow. Major League Baseball.
College
and,
football talk got them all messed up there. Yep.
and Jose Altuve, you got one of the best postseason starters in Justin Verlander. And with everything Houston's gone through the last few weeks, it's going to be an amazing story to watch them go to the World Series.
I would agree.
I like Houston pick. I mean, obviously, I'm going to pick Cleveland being from there. But I like the Cleveland pick because Dallas Keuchel's left-handed. Cleveland's top hitters, left-handed. Or they're switch hitters that hit worse, right-handed. And Verlander has cut through the Indians for 14 years.
Right.
Those are two guys. They're going to get 2 starts each, because that's not going to be a short series. They're going to get 1 and 2, 5 and 6.
Now, are you taking Keuchel or Verlander game 1? Or does it not matter either way?
I don't think it matters. I think it all matters how their starts are going to line up down the stretch, because I honestly don't think it matters.
True.
I might go Verlander game 1 because he's been there, done that.
I like Verlander game 1 as well.
But if they go Keuchel game 1, he's got what, 1 loss this year?
Right.
So you're not. It's like when the Tigers had Verlander, Scherzer, David Price in that postseason that Brad Ausmus destroyed.
But
You could not make a wrong decision.
You have a Cleveland team that lost the World Series after coming back against the Cubs last year. And Game 7, Cubs should have ran away with that game. But Madden poorly managed it. You have a Cleveland team that wants the World Series more than any team in baseball right now. They showed that throughout the entire season. I think their longest losing streak is, 4 games, I believe? I mean, the Tigers haven't won 5 games in a row this season. So,
And we'll get to a lot of Tigers talk
I don't know, just
later in the
kind of
podcast,
changes.
which is exciting.
Yes.
Which
So,
is exciting.
but yeah, I'm taking Cleveland to win 21. They got the next 7 games at home.
That helps too.
Does.
That helps too. I don't know if they'll get to 21 only because they got a tough opponent this weekend. Might lose tomorrow.
They might lose tomorrow.
Trevor Bauer, he's up and down guy. He's either going to strike out 14 or go 3 innings.
Everything's going right though. Everything's going
That's
right.
true. That's very true. Who's on the? You said Tom was on the mound today. He's one of those guys. He's had a interesting season.
Only won 5 innings.
No. That's all you need to, though. With that bullpen, they don't even have Andrew Miller right now. That's the best part. They've won 17 games. He's played none. That's crazy.
Right. Right play him. Don't need to.
It's true. All right. Close out the old rant segment. We talked episode 1 fair amount on hockey, and I guess Ken Holland heard us and wanted to continue to do dumb things. So now we're going to talk more hockey. But it's not all his fault. But it's not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
So Andreas Athanasiou is a restricted free agent, which means any deal that he signs has to go through Detroit. Ultimately meaning if he's going to play in the NHL next year, he's going to be here because we control where he plays. He has not earned free agency. He has not been here long enough. He's not been in the league long enough. And I don't really understand why NHL teams are not at least making the offer sheet to force the Red Wings issue since they're $2 million over the cap right now. But he is trying to force his way to getting more money by going to the KHL. This is all. Hasn't really been any updates on this in a few days, but we haven't been on, so we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
That is just mind-blowing to me. And it was 2 years, 1.9, I do believe, was the contract offer, so it's a little less than $1 million a year, but he's a guy who's frustrating to watch if you're a Red Wings fan. For how flashy he is offensively, how fast he is with skating and beating. He's probably the fastest player on the team, even though Larkin has the record for the All-Star game. But he's probably faster, or at least as fast. His defensive awareness is, if EA NHL had accurate ratings, it'd be like a 55. He can't stay on the ice, and part of that's on Blashill because he's not playing him enough to give him those opportunities. But you also have to earn those opportunities.
Right.
And I just don't understand why he's trying to force his hand to the KHL. And do what? Score 50 goals next year for fun? Like, this is the best league. You got to play in it. That's like Miggy saying, you know what? I'm going to go play for the whatever team Ichiro played for in Japan. I'm going to hit 90 bombs. They don't count here.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. What do you guys think?
Ken Holland's not paying him. He goes to Russia, he can make $2.5, $3 million.
That's the argument of, yeah, you get $3 million, but you're not playing against a top competition. Isn't that what everybody's working for?
So I guess if you're in his shoes, do you want more money, score more goals, less competition, or do you stay in the NHL where you're taking a pay cut by close to $1 million, but you're playing the best players in the world, and 10 years down the road, you could be an elite player?
Honestly, I would love to see him stay, just for the true love of the game. You want the best competition, so I would personally love to see him stay.
And that's how I'm wired.
Yeah.
And I've known you forever, so that's how you are too. It's one of those, I want to play against the best. I want to be the best against the best.
Right.
It's fun when you're like back in your freshman baseball days, or we played freshman football together, like those days of being dominant against lesser teams. But if you got an offer to go up, you're not just going to say, you know what, I'm going to play freshman so I can dominate more. No, you want to play against a better competition because that's all
you want to better
you're going
yourself.
to. Yeah. I understand the money. I understand the money aspect. I get it. But the Red Wings have themselves in a box. It's not like they don't want to give him more money. They physically can't. They're up against it.
That's all due to Ken Holland. I mean,
that aspect's on Ken
the
Holland.
Wings, in my opinion, are not going to make the playoffs as long as Ken Holland is GM in Detroit.
I agree.
He's the worst GM in Detroit sports right now. And that's being said because behind him I had Al Avila. And he was going to be the one that was the worst GM, but he did everything he needed to. So Ken Holland is now the worst GM in Detroit. And Wings fans, we don't have anything coming to us the next few years.
No, we don't. Rebuilding. That's what we have. We're looking forward to seeing all the flashy names.
Yeah.
But on top of that, worst GM in Detroit right now. Tigers are failing. Red Wings have failed. Is it the Lions' year? Is this year the Lions' year?
They're the only hope.
I'll tell you. Every year's the Lions' year.
That's true. We did talk about this on the
The Lions don't win if the Lions don't make the playoffs this year. It'll be the first time since 1992 that
none of them.
The sports team has not made the playoffs.
That'd be insane. That's going to be a sad day.
But
it could happen. Detroit can make the playoffs.
Oh, so they could. Yeah,
I think they could. Stafford just got paid. Abdullah is healthy. He's like the greatest he's looked all season.
Nice. Yes, we're looking pretty good as the Lions.
All career.
Rest of Detroit, my God, falling apart.
All right, those are our rants. We have no guests this week. It's just us. We're killing it. We will be right back. Podcast open this week. Only one cut, as long as Ben doesn't swear. Like we had to cut 8 seconds into the first episode. Yeah. Greatest thing ever.
It was pretty awesome. Well, I mean, Tyler's instigating the whole time.
I know.
You know,
he's flipping you off in the background. Yeah. No, you didn't see that.
Yeah, you guys didn't see that.
I got a text after the first one, like, why did I jump around so much? I'm like, Ben literally dropped an F-bomb 8 seconds in. I can't do that. All right, we'll be right back. Lead the break. Sloppy Joe's.
Woo. Number 1 over here. It will.
Yeah. No, I agree, because when you get a new arena, you get a new facility.
Yeah.
It attracts people because they want to be there because it's new.
Yeah. Ford does really open up that option for.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I've never understood.
Am I worried about the Patriots? Absolutely not.
Oh,
Are they my favorite to win the World Series? Absolutely.
They're also my favorite to win the World Series.
The Patriots, the last.
Oh, you didn't. Hang on. They're gonna make fun of you if you don't correct yourself. You said World Series.
I meant the Stanley.
All right, it's been requested this week. A lot more free flowing. I only watched last week's episode about 6 times. So
yeah, I watched it. I loved it.
And I remember one of the complaints he had is, "This is more of a show this week." Mm-hmm. Well, it's not. That's the last cut we have.
Yep.
Because we have no guests, so we're just doing the whole rest of the show right here, as long as Ben doesn't swear. So we're gonna jump right into some sports. What do you think?
Sports.
All right. Matt wasn't on episode 1, and so we talked a little bit of Tigers, but we saved some of the big things for this week, and it also helps that Al Avila traded away the entire team since in between our last podcast, so we got plenty to talk about. So we're going to start there. Did they get it right?
They did everything they had to do. They waited till the absolute last minute to do so, as the earlier in the trade didn't go through until 11:59. But I love what Avila did. He traded away JD in the midst of the Tigers still having hope of making a wild card, even though in the back of all of our minds we knew they weren't. That's kind of when the decline started. Wasn't a fan of the JD trade right away. Over the weeks, I most definitely liked it. Upton, he said he was going to opt out of his contract. So you trade away, you got to play in advance. Otherwise, you're just losing him. You get nothing in exchange.
And I like the fact that the biggest key in that was Justin Upton's professionalism. He came to the Tigers. He came to Avila. He said, "Look, this is what I'm going to do. You do what you have to do." And they went out and got a pretty decent arm and a guy who's, well, if he opts in, he's going to screw the Angels in terms of payroll. But a guy who's more than likely going to opt out.
Upton's been on a rebuilding team his entire career. And
with the exception of the year he almost won the MVP in Arizona. And that team didn't make the playoffs either.
Right.
But they were at least competitive. But every other year.
And I don't think the Angels are going to make the playoffs this year. I could be wrong. I think it could be what they need. I don't think he's the answer. So I think he's going to go elsewhere. But as far as Tigers fans, Avila did what he had to do. I was hoping Upton would stay around. I think that club needs a veteran in order to build. I was hoping Upton would be that veteran. However, you dealt him away. They lost $88 million. So I'm totally all right with it. Verlander, all you're biting is, what, $18 million? So
20 or 8 and 8, so 18. Yeah. Or 8 and 8 is 16. Sorry, good math.
16 million.
Good math. I went to Holly.
And you got great prospects in return. I mean, we haven't seen them yet.
We see Candelario now,
correct,
which is exciting. Hitting 2 today.
He started the first triple play since 2001 yesterday.
Yes, he did.
He has impressed me without any doubt so far. He's reached safely in all 7 games he played in. Last night he didn't get a hit. He did draw a walk. Prior to that, he had hit safely in all 6 games.
Including the pinch hit he had when he was up for 25 minutes. When I think Iglesias went on like the bereavement list when we were in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So that was
I like that because it puts him at third. It gets him that MLB experience. And I think I like that most is you put Castellanos in right field.
Yeah.
And to me, our outfield, if Castellanos can perform the way we think he can, the Tigers have their outfield for the next 10 years. And Castellanos, you have Jacoby Jones, who, if he can hit the ball, he's going to be the best center fielder, probably in the AL Central, and he'll be a top 5 center fielder.
I'd say it's second behind Bradley Zimmer, but I agree.
Could agree.
But
no problem.
I mean, Bradley Zimmer's also slumping a little bit, so like.
But the key to Jacoby sticking with
number 1
the Tigers, he got to hit the ball.
Oh, 100%.
And he had 2 home runs. I think it was 3 nights ago, 4 nights ago. Can't remember off the top of my head. And that was great to see. And you have Mike Machuk in left, who is the future of that outfield. Didn't know what to expect this year. He came out of LSU. Him and Jacoby Jones went to LSU together. They had that chemistry together. They both won a World Series at LSU.
Jacoby was a prep shortstop at college, I do believe, right? Or infielder. Yeah.
So I like that trade because it opens up more than just that third base position. And let's say Castellanos doesn't make it on right field. Okay, now you have all this money that you can go buy a right fielder. JD is not that guy you buy.
No?
JD is a 250 hitter, and he has clutch home runs. He had 4 home runs and 4 at-bats the other night. Do I want JD? I wouldn't be upset with him, but we need someone that's more consistent at the bat. JD, if he's not getting a hit, he's not getting out. And that is going to be a home run. Hopefully Castellanos pans out to be the guy that we hope he can be out in right field. Debuted last night. So he felt comfortable. He did look good.
Had 2 routine fly balls. Made them both. Had a nice play on a line drive in the turf, which turf in the outfield's always tricky because that ball's just gonna. But I like Nick and Wright. His arm is weird. He has a good arm, he just could not. I don't know. It was weird. Him throwing across the diamond, it just never looked fluid.
Right.
Going from third to first.
Right.
I feel like he has a plenty good enough right field arm. It's not one of the top arms.
Well,
It's not Josh Reddick out in right
you,
field.
you don't need a top arm, right? The Tigers, with all they need from Nick is if they can have the defense JD produced,
Which wasn't even that great.
right? And he's gonna produce better at the plate. He'll hit with power. He's still young. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
So,
And I like the point you were making too. If he doesn't work next year, you get rid of your Victor Martinez problem.
exactly.
So then he now maybe plays right a couple nights a week. Maybe he plays third once a week. I don't think he's done playing third base.
No,
that right?
he's not
done playing.
He's not done playing this year.
Right. Yes.
But he needs to. 90% of his work needs to be out in the
Mhm.
field. There's only 3 weeks of the season left. 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Tigers are done. So
Mhm.
put him out in the right. See how good things go. Got nothing to lose at this point.
That's true. That's true.
I like the return of the guy with JD. The more I think about it, because Kindler's going to be gone within the next 5 years, in my opinion.
I think he might be gone after next. Maybe even before that if we can move him.
The only
This
reason I
offseason.
disagree, and I hope it doesn't happen, is Kinsler said he's willing to be that veteran to stick with the rebuilding team.
Mhm.
If they trade away Kinsler, who do you have on the Tigers to guide these young guys? You have Miggy, but Miggy's getting up there in age.
Mhm.
He's not producing. He hasn't hit over 300 this season. Power's down. His hits are down. V-Mart's leaving. If Kinsler goes, you got absolutely no veteran support on that team. While it's possible, I don't like that because then you're left with Jose Iglesias being the leader of that team.
I know
Which,
that's-
nonetheless, Jose is a great player. He's not the leader of the team, though.
I think one move you might see, especially because Jacoby Jones is, well, he hasn't proved himself to at least warrant just being given the everyday center field job. You can't even start every day now.
No.
But I think one day, he's played here before, left-handed bat, he's going to hit homers. Curtis Granderson might be coming back.
I would not be upset
He's-
about
I would love to see that.
He
that. Oh, yeah.
expiring contract. He's going to go play for at least a chance to go to the World Series in LA. Come back here. He's that veteran. He is a leader of the team.
And he's played in
Definitely.
Detroit before, and he absolutely loved it.
And he's played in New York before, so and LA now. He's played in 3 pretty good-sized markets. He's been there. He's done that. Commands respect from everyone. I would not be surprised if guys like that, because we don't really know what this offseason is going to bring.
And the Tigers don't need to buy anything this offseason because you acquired 3 infielders in the JD trade. You acquired 2 pitchers between Verlander and Wilson and Avila trade. So we don't know what these guys are going to do. We got a 19-year-old, 22-year-old, Kendall Rio. He's a third baseman, so that doesn't help our pitching.
Yeah.
I'm still not letting go of Matt Gordon and Daniel Morris.
I would.
You have Fulmer, who is the ace of this team. He's going to be the future of this team. He's going to be the future of
And he
MLB.
should not start another game
Not
this
a
year.
single game. Took every fan knew before Brad Ausmus said Fulmer is injured. But luckily for us,
I know. They're just running him out there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just losing feeling in my arm." And Brad's like, "Yeah, he's fine." Like, what? What? You're 48 games out of it. Stop.
but as Tiger fans, the one good thing we have going this season is we can look forward to Brad Ausmus not being there next year.
I agree.
And I was a big Brad Ausmus fan. I was probably the last one to say he's got to go,
It's true.
but he's got to go. I mean, this team not going to lose 100 games this year. Definitely going to lose 90. Might lose 95. They don't have a single playoff series win in Brad Ausmus' tenure here.
And only made it once.
Made it once. Now, in Brad's defense, he hasn't had the greatest bullpen support. But he doesn't know how to manage it.
And we've had this discussion very many times. I think he's the reason the Tigers are in a rebuild right now. I don't think it's the lack of talent we had here. How do you not? You had a team 2 years ago that had Nick Castellanos hitting 7th.
Right.
A guy who hit 250 with 15 homers is hitting 7th. That is a deep lineup. You have guys like David Price. You have Verlander. You had all of these guys. Max. he left that year when they started the rebuild. He signed in Washington. But we had guys, we just traded Porcello, but we had guys that could play and were plenty good enough to compete for a postseason. He botched it.
Right.
So then they start selling. Then they fired Dombrowski, which I didn't agree with, but at the end of the day, had to change directions. I get that. Sometimes messages get stale. But you then hire his protege, Avila. So then he's trying to buy, and he goes out and spends $4.8 million a minute for Upton, who was a really good here for 2 years. Everybody was down on him last year. He had a career high in home runs. So
People don't realize
understand
that.
that made no sense to me.
Right.
They're like, he's only hitting 246. I'm like, he's a career 270 hitter. So let's pump the brakes here. He's hitting for more power. You're gonna lose a little average.
I think the turning point for me was that Jordan Zimmerman deal. 5 years, $110 million. Dude started
I
off.
was such a fan of that too.
Dude started off 4-0, and he hasn't done anything since.
Yeah.
And then you lost your pitching. You had Verlander, who hasn't been great the last 2 seasons in the first half of the season.
Mhm.
And then he comes out fired.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I think it started to decline with that. But nonetheless, let's look at the beginning of this year's team. They had a chance, in my opinion, to win 90 games.
Mhm.
It doesn't help that Matt Boyd and Daniel Norris have been about as good as a spaghetti noodle. Verlander started off the season like he starts out every season with an ERA over 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Brad Ausmus, who is one of the worst MLB managers in baseball. So, but you still had a team that had talent. You have Miguel Cabrera, you had Victor, Kinsler, Castellanos. This team just fell apart.
It did.
And yeah, I could agree with you saying it's Brad's fault. It's his job to make sure that the energy with this team stays high.
We're still recording?
Yes.
And
what is it? Do you know what the charge is at? Because I can't see from here. Like I couldn't. I was like trying to
Yes,
if you go back and look at it again, it'll see me like.
Yes, it's fine. Continue. We're still
Sorry.
live. So.
as a manager, it is your responsibility to take care of that team outside of the clubhouse, inside the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what goes on in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
We don't know. But a few weeks ago, about a month ago, the Tigers won 4 straight, found themselves 4 games back of a wild card race,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just took a complete dump.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Austin allow that to happen?
He just doesn't have enough sense of urgency, I think.
I agree.
And that's what bothers me.
Procrastination as a MLB manager isn't exactly something that you want.
No, it is not.
Now, Austin goes, which if Avila has any sort of common sense, he's going. Any early favorites for next year's manager?
I know the guy I want. I want Mickey Callaway, the Indians pitching coach, because our pitching staff is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have good arms.
Right.
They just need guidance, and I don't think it's our pitching coach's fault. But our manager, it's not Brad's either. He was a catcher. Sure, you know pitching because you caught for so long, but he doesn't know how to teach pitching because he didn't. And that's one thing Mickey Callaway can, because you're going to get him in here. He's going to bring a good pitching coach in because Mickey Callaway is one of the most respected people in baseball.
Look what he's done in Cleveland.
He's
Cleveland wins the World Series. Look at that pitching.
I know.
That pitching's been absolutely dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And those are homegrown guys. Corey Kluber, he came up through their system. Carlos Carrasco came
Corey
up through their
Kluber is
system.
striking out 10 batters every game.
I know.
And Cleveland, Tomlin went 5 innings today, and then that was in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can have pitchers go 5 or 6 innings, and
Mhm.
then the game's over, that's what the Tigers need.
Yeah.
And Fulmer can go 5 innings. Fulmer can go 8 innings.
Yeah.
Norris can go 5 innings and
Mhm.
keep you in a ball game.
So can Boyd.
Matt Boyd can go 5 innings and keep you in a game. I want to see what some of the younger guys do. Chad Bell, I've been impressed.
I have. I've liked him this year.
He's not.
Wonder what he'll do in the rotation, as he's going to more than likely be in it the whole rest of the way. But it's definitely worth a look.
Right. Someone I think you got to get rid of. You're going to probably get no one in return for, but you can't keep calling him up is Buck Farmer. The dude is terrible. Straight up.
Sorry,
Across the
Bucky.
board.
Sorry, Bucky. Your boy's gone.
And
He went 5 innings yesterday
did.
and did not implode,
No.
which is a record, I think. So
A miracle?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Yeah.
Buck Farmer is the Tigers' number 3 pitcher right now.
It's not good.
Sanchez is our ace.
Is he healthy?
Is Sanchez healthy?
Yes, because he left his last start early.
He is starting on short rest this next start.
Okay, good. That makes
So,
That
Brad
makes
Ausmus
sense.
has elected, back to Brad Ausmus, elected to start Sanchez, who has been a dumpster fire this year, with the exception of 2 games. Not only to start him, but to start him on short rest. So, good job, Brad. I like what you're doing there. But, as far as what Avila did, I thought he was on his way out. He did everything he had to do. I love the trades. It's going to take time from here. We got to see what these prospects do. But I think when you look at the prospects and you look at the guys that are in now, if Castellanos can produce the way we were hoping he can produce, you don't have to worry about the outfield. Outfield set. Mikey Bontuk is great at the plate.
I like Mike.
He could be the leader of that outfield. Castellanos could be that veteran we need. And then you just got to rebuild the offense. The infield. So, which
I like Dixon Machado.
I do too.
I feel like he deserves a chance.
He can hit too.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like him up at the start of the year, but at the end of the day, he didn't have a choice because he had no options. But he's more than proved that he is a major league player.
he looks so smooth.
Very good defensively. Just as good as Jose Iglesias. Jose Iglesias is a guy you can flip in the offseason, in my opinion, and get pitching.
And I have no problem with that. Jose is one of those players whose his power's been up this year. I think he's had more home runs, I do believe, this year than any other year in his career. He could be the player that certain teams need. The thing that I don't want to go for, I'm not going to be upset if we don't, I don't want to keep going for pitching. And I only say that because we have a lot of pitching down in AAA and AA. I think we need to continue building outside of that. Nonetheless, you can't hurt pitching. You're not going to win. At the end of the day, if you don't have pitching, you're not going to win. But I hope the Tigers don't do anything this offseason. I want to see these guys, at least next year, a full entire year of rebuilding.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 50-win season next year, but I'm okay with that. As long as, right now, for the next year and a half to 2 years, the only thing Tigers fans need to look for is production out of these young guys. Wins do not matter for the next year, in my opinion.
I agree. Well, they're not going to go anywhere next year, so that worked for me. All right. Let's shift gears. Talk a little NBA. We talked. It was weird. We predicted the future. We did not predict the right team.
No,
no
right team,
episode, but we predicted that Kyrie Irving was going to be traded.
We said it was the Knicks. We thought it was one of the Knicks.
I thought that was a place he really wanted to go, was the Knicks. And I don't know if Boston was on his list, but I think it was a good deal
Yeah, it was a good
for
deal.
both sides.
That entire debacle really frustrates me. The Knicks are the league's laughing stock.
They really are.
And
The fact that he says that he likes New York and he likes going to the Knicks is just such a... It doesn't make any sense. Like, you'd be shooting yourself in the foot.
the problem I have with that
Actually,
is that
players that play for New York sports teams do that.
Oh,
So
yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know if we want to take this the literal route here.
Yeah.
like, why would you go from 3 straight NBA championships to winning with the Knicks? I don't get it. Nonetheless, went to Boston. Great trade. Both teams, I thought.
I think both teams got exactly what they were looking for.
I don't understand, though. I want to know what is going on in Kyrie's mind. I get you want to be the superstar of a team. You don't want to be in the shadow of LeBron. But at what point does not winning overcome being the superstar? You go into your 4th straight final this year if you're LeBron.
Right.
Instead, you're going to get bounced in the conference finals.
That was going to be my question: is who is now the favorite to lose in the NBA Finals? Is it Boston or is it Cleveland?
Cleveland wins 4-1.
4-1.
4-1.
I'd say the same thing.
I think Cleveland could get them. I think it'll be closer. Boston, to answer your first question before I get into it, I said it in our first episode. I think he wanted to leave because that team is not built around him and LeBron is gone.
Well,
So I think he was afraid that he was going to be stuck with Kevin Love and the cast of 50 and over for the rest of that roster. I think Richard Jefferson's still playing. He's like 8 years away from Social Security. Like, this isn't good. And LeBron likes to play with veterans. I was watching the new FS1 show this week, and Nick Wright was making that point. He likes to play with veterans. That's not good for Kyrie if he was going to be there.
Mhm.
Because he's 25.
Now,
And he's playing with 50s.
Kyrie looks like a genius if two things happen. One, if they make it to the finals.
That's true.
And two, if, in my opinion, when LeBron leaves next year.
Yeah.
Because he's going to LA. Him and Paul George, Lonzo, they're about to ball.
Pun intended. Pun intended, fellas.
And
He
yeah.
dropped a rap track today.
That was amazing. It was better than we
Don't give it
expected.
It wasn't garbage.
It wasn't garbage.
He was the best part of that song.
better than anything I'll ever produce.
Yeah, better than all of them.
That's not fair. We could cut some of these takes and
Make
put some auto-tune together.
auto-tune.
Auto-tune!
It's hard for me to pick Cleveland to lose, though. You look at what Isaiah Thomas did last year.
Mhm.
He led Boston to the finals. I mean, the Eastern Conference Finals. Ended up getting smoked. You went against the best basketball player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now you team up Isaiah Thomas with the best basketball player in the world,
Mm-hmm.
a healthy Derrick Rose, which I don't know if that's
Derrick
going to be true.
Rose.
Derrick Rose averaged 18 a game last year, and he played like 67 games.
He said
He missed the majority of his games because he went AWOL in the middle of the season. It wasn't because he was hurt.
Yeah.
He just stopped showing up. He pulled an Iverson. He was
Well,
like, I don't know where I am.
that happens when you play for the Knicks.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go to work
disappeared.
today or this week.
And now you have, well, I don't know who's going to stop Cleveland in the East. I mean, Isaiah Thomas said the other day, what are you going to do, put 3 men on Isaiah Thomas and leave LeBron open?
Yeah.
You got to double team LeBron. Might have to double team Isaiah Thomas. Now what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think if LeBron stays in Cleveland, then Kyrie made the worst life choice.
I agree.
Yes.
But it sounds like LeBron's leaving. I think we all know that.
Mhm.
So I think as far as next year, who won the trade? I think Cleveland did. I think he gets right in the finals just to get bounced. Probably swept against Golden State. I'll give him one game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say 4-1 again.
Against Golden State. Yeah.
I mean, Isaiah Thomas is, 5'4". If they can't win with Kyrie, they're not going to win with Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. Curry's going to average 40.
I mean, yeah.
Isaiah's going to have to guard Steph Curry.
That's not going to happen.
That's not good.
No, it's not going to work.
Or
Isaiah
they're going
Thomas-
to put LeBron on Curry, and Isaiah's going to have to guard someone who's a foot taller than him, which is the rest of that roster.
And people
It's a lose-lose.
Yeah. But LeBron knows that him and Paul George are going to the Lakers, and they will stop them. And the West is about to be loaded. So, yeah, Kyrie, if he can accept the fact that he's not going to make it to the finals this year, which maybe he's totally cool with, he's going to run the East.
As long as he stays there. Gordon Hayward's a good piece. I like Al Horford.
I do too.
He's a good piece. They got Marcus Morris. I think they're going to miss Avery Bradley on the perimeter, but I think they're going to enjoy Marcus Morris averaging 15 points for them next year.
My sleeper team for this year in the East, it's going to be the 76ers.
I was going to say the same thing.
I know we've said that the last few years, but Ben Simmons is healthy. Dude's a rookie.
They're finally there.
My early Rookie of the Year pick. Are they going to...
Not Lonzo?
Not
The
Lonzo.
rapper?
No.
The rapper?
I mean, maybe Lonzo would drop 30 every game. LeVar promised Lonzo would lead the Lakers to the playoffs, so...
I think he promised a trip to the finals. And they gave him a reality show. You know who's not going to watch a reality show of LeVar Ball? Any of us.
I will not be watching that.
That's a damn fact right
I
there.
couldn't have my money.
But we'll end this topic, the NBA topic, on this. Who would you rather have, though? Kyrie or Isaiah Thomas? Independently. Not their teams. Who would you rather have? You go.
Independently, I'd take Kyrie. He can do it all, and he's young. I'd take Kyrie.
I would do the same. Because Kyrie's defense, while bad, is better than Isaiah, who's rated
Shorter than
the
everyone.
30th out of the 30 starting point guards in the game, in the
Yeah.
NBA in defense, and Kyrie was 24th.
I'm taking Kyrie. Best handles behind Steph in the NBA. The dude's clutch. Experience.
That's a point that is not being mentioned enough, is that Boston got the most clutch player in the NBA.
Yes.
In Kyrie. And if you want to make an argument that he's second, Kevin Durant's pretty clutch too. So
Yeah.
I'll take it. If you want to say Durant's one and
I would
Kyrie's
say-
two, that's fair.
I wouldn't say Durant's clutch. The dude's a beast.
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
he's just that good.
Yeah.
Kyrie, I think, is more clutch. I have no problem with KD being clutch, but I think KD's just he's a monster.
Yeah.
So he's the reason Golden State's going to win and run the NBA for the next 10 years.
I agree.
So,
game.
All right.
So, injury alert: Sebastian Janikowski. My
Janikowski's hurt.
kicker's down.
All right, we're gonna have to mention that when we make our game picks in a minute. But before we get to the NFL, really quickly on Michigan, they played today. We shot this in the afternoon Saturday. It's not too. We're not pushing the panic button.
No.
That's an absolutely asinine thing to say.
It's game 2 of the season.
It's game 2. He still won by 22. Your defense is scoring more than they're allowing this year.
Yeah.
But my question is, Wilton Speight has struggled. He struggled against Iowa. He struggled really badly against Ohio State. He did not look good against Florida State. And he was the reason the game was even close in the opener against Florida.
I'm not panicking with Michigan because their fourth quarter, they put teams away.
Mm-hmm.
Good teams put bad teams away in fourth.
That's true.
Michigan can't be a fourth quarter team. While they're scheduled, they can be. That doesn't help them get better.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you got to go play. Well, you got to play Big Ten teams. What's going to happen when they meet Penn State?
They're going to get smoked.
Exactly.
They were up 17-14 against Cincinnati at the Big House in Ann Arbor in the third
Midway
quarter.
through the third.
That
can't
acceptable.
happen. It can't happen. in the
And
Big Ten.
Cincinnati, I don't know if you even know this, Cincinnati got Luke Fickell as their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Fickell, the former defensive coordinator of Ohio State.
Oh,
Luke
okay.
Fickell is a hell of a coach,
Yes.
and he knows that area. He's going to do good things in Cincinnati. I don't know, like, they're in the American, which is tough. They're not in the Power 5. They're the 6th team in the Power 5, or 6th conference of the Power 5. So I don't know if, like, national championship success he'll have, or playoff success even, but he's going to do good things there. And he might even springboard that into a Power 5 job. Would not be surprised. I think he's going to do great. And if today showed any indication, they were in that game in the fourth quarter.
Well,
A team that was severely overmatched in talent.
across the board.
In every way.
Yes.
The only thing is, if you put Hayden Moore flip him with Wilton Speight, the score is probably the same. And that is my argument.
And
My question,
Cincinnati might win that game if it's not in Ann Arbor.
and that's my question, is Wilton Spaight's play bothersome? They
Yes.
play Air Force next week. Are you going to play any of the other two guys next week to see what you have?
I'm starting O'Corn next week.
Starting O'Corn?
The space looked terrible. Plain and simple, their defense, as you noted earlier, has scored more than he has. What do you have to lose by space starting?
Yeah.
I mean, O'Corn, if he's not producing any better, he sure can't get any worse. So
Quinn Nordine has scored more points than Wilton Speight has led on offense as well. So let's just point that out.
Michigan needs to figure it out before they enter the Big Ten.
And Penn State, they play early in the conference.
At Penn State.
Right? That's
They're
early,
leading the
right?
country right now.
Yeah.
So they need to figure it out before they get to that point.
I'm
Otherwise,
100%.
it's just going to be their season will be dismantled after Penn State.
Now, do they need to figure out the quarterback situation, or is that team altogether? Had 2 fumbles today. Can't be fumbling the ball
Yeah,
twice.
same.
Special teams didn't look great. Defense
They
looked
had a pick
spectacular.
too. I just don't. I feel like you know what you have in Wilton Speight, right?
Right.
It's like the Tigers right now. You can roll these guys, like you know what maybe he's going to do. You know what like the veterans are going to do. But this is the point. You're playing Air Force next week. You're going to win. I'm taking Air Force in the spread. Whatever the spread is, I'm taking Air Force right now. I picked Cincinnati today. Taking Air Force in the spread. They're not going to win the game. Like today, the spread was 32.5. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I didn't even think Michigan was going to score 32.5 points, and they almost did it.
They probably should have.
They almost did. They only scored 36. So I'm picking Air Force in the spread. Michigan can win probably by 3 touchdowns. But you're playing the Air Force. They're not going to. They're not going to, especially against that front seven. Their triple option's not going to go anywhere. You got to see what you have. And play
You have
everybody.
nothing to lose by trying something next week. Because if you start Speight against Penn State, you're losing by 40.
In Happy Valley, it's not going to look good.
Oh,
I
it's
like
not.
5th-year senior. I like it. But I don't know. I just don't know if he has enough talent.
I don't think he does. Hopefully I'm wrong.
All right, last topic before we get into our game picks, which I know you're excited about. Dad, you're going to like the first one, I promise. We got to talk Thursday night. New England, Kansas City, New England.
What
I
happened?
think Tom Brady's only lost 1 football game and leading in the 4th quarter at home.
Yeah.
He doubled it. I mean, it's going to happen. But I don't even know where to begin. What happened?
Yo, what happened?
I have 2 words. I have 4 words. Change that.
2 times 4 or 2?
2 times 2.
All right, there it is.
2 times 2, 2 players. Here's what
He
happened.
can do math.
Yeah, he didn't go to Holland.
He did not go to Holland.
Kareem Hunt, Alex Smith. That's what happened Thursday night. Kareem Hunt had, 246 yards in scrimmage. He had 148 rushing yards, touchdown. Alex Smith had 2 touchdowns of 75 plus. He's had 2 touchdowns of 75 plus in his whole playing career.
Mhm.
With that being said, Alex Smith probably didn't perform that well all season.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Am I worried about the Patriots? Absolutely not.
Oh,
Are they
0%.
my favorite to win the World Series? Absolutely.
They're also my favorite to win the World Series.
The Patriots, the last...
Oh, you didn't, hang on. They're going to make fun of you if you don't correct yourself. You said World Series.
I meant the Stanley Cup. They did win the Stanley Cup.
Yes!
And a penalty
Hey.
shootout.
I'm not going to lie to you. They have a better chance of winning the Stanley Cup than the Red Wings do.
Put him on skates, man. You have some bruisers.
Put Gronk on skates.
Oh
That's
my
a
God.
dirty... If he can figure out how to skate, he could end careers.
That is a
All
nightmare.
right, continue.
Gronk is going to in the 90th minute. Put it away.
Oh, man.
The Patriots, the last 3 times they've lost their opener at home, dating back to 2001, they've won the Super Bowl all 3 times. So history
Yeah.
favors them.
That's true.
You still have Tom Brady, who is the best quarterback, in my opinion, behind Aaron Rodgers. Hate to say it. Sorry, Lion fans. I'm not concerned about the Patriots. You have a healthy Gronk. You have Brandon Cooks, who's never played Tom Brady. You got to
He
figure it
looked
out.
good.
He did. He had
3 catches, 88.
Got me 9
Okay.
points. My fantasy team.
Yeah.
That's good.
got 11.8. Not upset.
Upset.
So, yeah, I mean, but you can't take away from what Kansas City did. They went into Foxborough, where they've never won, or they haven't won in, 91, I think was their last win.
Great Belichick here, that's for sure.
And they beat the Patriots by double digits,
Yeah.
straight up. They made that defense, which Belichick is a mastermind at.
Mhm. Most points they've given up in the Belichick era, I do believe, 42.
They made them look like a high school team.
Yeah.
Especially late.
If Alex Smith comes out and they start off 2-0 next year,
Mm-hmm.
next week, don't sleep on Kansas City.
No.
They might be a legit
They
Super
were
Bowl
the
contender.
number 2 seed last year. I think the reason people were sleeping on them to start with is because they drafted Pat Mahomes. They're like, oh, this team's going to rebuild now. They're losing. No. They got Pat Mahomes because he was the best talent available.
Alex Smith has been such a mystery, in my opinion. I mean,
If Alex Smith plays like he did last night, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
oh, without doubt.
No
Even
way.
if he plays half of like he did last night,
They're going to play.
Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, I still think my early AFC favorite is Patriots
That's
and
fair.
the Steelers.
That's fair. Both are fair.
Uh, But you know,
I might put Kansas City above Pittsburgh, but I don't. They would be like 2 and 2A, not like a far separation at all.
I'm only taking Pitt because you have Le'Veon Bell, all 16 games, barring any injuries.
Or
Maybe
suspensions. Stay off the weed. Where's Stephen A?
Don't do weed, kids.
Don't. Please don't.
Drugs bad.
Our 6 subscribers on the YouTube do not. Everyone else watching also don't.
No drugs.
You have
Only I want to do drugs.
Ben does not do drugs.
I don't do drugs, guys.
you have Antonio Brown,
Keyword
who
anymore.
said that he's going to have
Or at all. Who knows? Well,
We'll
sorry.
drop
what?
What?
Cocaine. Don't do cocaine.
it.
All right, no more drug talk.
No, we're good. YouTube pay us.
That's what the
YouTube
NFL
fans.
does. Do a lot of drugs.
True.
I'm not taking anything away from that game Thursday night.
Mhm.
I'm not going to take away anything from any team opening week besides the Jets, who are going to win one game this year.
The Jets are not winning. We're just gonna let the
They're probably not going to win. Jets fans,
I'm
You're
sorry,
not-
you're Jets
you
fans.
might not
become
go-
Giant fans.
Yeah, become
Yes.
Giants fans.
I'm sorry. You got-
Switch.
you got nothing.
That's actually the first game we're going to pick here in a second, too.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see what happens week 2.
It's going to be interesting. But before week 2 starts, it's time for picks. I wish we had like some cool music and like NFL music, but we don't. Very low budget program. Here we go. We're going to pick the games and against the spreads that I had most recently before the show. I have all the numbers right here, so let's go. Jets at Bills. Bills favored 5.5. I'm still picking Buffalo.
I'm taking the Bills.
They're winning by 14.
Yeah. What's up, Corbin?
Hello.
How are you, Corbin?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Guest star.
guest star, Corbin Carpenter.
Hello.
This is the man that let us use
You
his
went to-
camera last week.
I have groceries.
Yeah, he went to Meyer, Matt's place of employment. So well done.
Very
Yes,
well done.
hello. Cheers. Hello.
Hello.
Do you want to just a second look at the groceries? Luke?
Yeah, I'm also taking the Bills. I'm taking final score 21-3.
3.
Three.
Wow, the Jets are going to score. That's fan. Eagles at Redskins. This is a tough game. Washington. It's in Washington. They get 2.5 point favorites over Philadelphia.
I'm going with the Eagles on the road. I'm a big Carson Wentz fan. It's the second year. He's got experience. I think the key to Washington winning is Jordan Reed and Kirk Cousins. If Jordan Reed can stay healthy, he's got potential to be top 5, if not higher, tight end in the league this year.
That's very true.
I'd agree.
So I'm taking the Eagles on the road.
Eagles on the road.
I'm going Washington. I'll go against both of you.
Okay.
I think the home field. I do. Carson Wentz started out last year great. I think he could do that again. I just think Kirk Cousins, week 1 at least, he's going to come out in front of the home faithful. He's playing for a contract with the 49ers. I mean, with any team.
What's your final score going to be?
Final score of that game, probably like 27-24. They barely cover the spread. Field goal wins. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't understand why this spread is as weird as it is. Tennessee's favored by 1, so it's a pretty much pickup game against the Raiders.
Right.
I'm picking Oakland. I know it's in Tennessee, but Derek Carr.
Taking Oakland.
He-
Well.
he's unstoppable.
And you have
A god amongst men.
Yes.
You have Marshawn Lynch, who wants to be here. Took a
Mhm.
year off.
Mhm.
He stayed working out. I'm taking Oakland because of Marshawn Lynch. I think he's going to have a great debut. And you got Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Nothing against Mariota. I love what the kid has, but Derek Carr's a better
And
quarterback.
I think
is.
Tennessee's going to have a good year.
They grew.
I don't know playoffs or not, but I think he's going to have a good year as Corbin is making his way through the shot without
I
getting in it.
appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity of being on the show.
But I think they'll have a good year, 8-8, 9-7 around there. Mariota's going to be. He's already a good quarterback, but I just don't know if they're ready yet to beat the teams like Oakland.
And you
I
don't-
could be wrong. It's entirely possible that
You don't
there's a
need to
reason
be
for
ready
it.
with Mariota year 2.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
It
This-
hurts me to say it. You know what? It hurts me to say it, but Derek Carr is the better quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know, for
it's-
those of you who don't know, Ben's number 2 college team is Oregon. It's been Oregon for years. It's hurting him that Oregon's on this downslope. But Mariota is literally his idol. So
Yeah.
he's a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't get this spread at all. Maybe you can explain something to me, but Houston's only favored by 4 at home over Jacksonville.
got
Blake
nothing.
Bortles is throwing grounders. He's like me hitting fungo to my former JV kids as a quarterback. That's not good. And I did not hit a good fungo. Those are my former players, you know.
Blake
Oh, man.
Bortles could not hit a target without a defense. He could have all of his wide receivers on the field and not a single defender on there, and he will miss his receiver by 15 yards.
They'd
Yeah.
probably go 3 and out.
So,
against the air.
yeah, Houston's probably going to blow them out.
Yeah. It's going to be.
It's in Houston.
I guess I understand the spread being low for the reason of intrigue and also Tom Savage. But Tom Savage is a guy who played in a pro-style offense at Pitt. Dave Wannstedt was his coach, and Dave Wannstedt coached in the NFL. So, and maybe they just don't believe his talent. Maybe they think Deshaun Watson should start. I don't. I don't think Deshaun Watson's ready. And Tom Savage is a good enough quarterback
Correct.
to
And-
play. But I think they're underestimating his abilities.
I'm also taking Houston in that game, not because of sports reason. Like, Houston just got hit. That city is rallying. J.J. Watt raised $20 million plus. They're going to come out there with that energy. The energy in Houston is going to be the most aesthetic energy in all of the cities of the country, in my
And
opinion.
you saw it when the Astros returned home.
Correct. It was ecstatic. And you have J.J. Watt, who's one of the best defenders
Mhm.
in the league. So
And he's healthy.
he's healthy.
Jadeveon Clowney had a really good year last year, proving why he should have been the number 1 pick. He had a good year, Pro Bowl year, I do believe. I don't think he was elected right away, but I think he was a replacement Pro Bowler.
I think so.
Either way,
Sounds right.
I
good
think
year.
if Houston can put up 17 points, they win that game.
That's probably all they need.
So get a couple touchdowns from
Mhm.
Tom Savage, and I
Yeah.
think that game's in the bag.
Here we go. Cardinals and our Detroit Lions.
You know I'm going Lions.
I know you're going Lions. I am too.
Yeah.
It's in Detroit.
Yep.
I think Carson Palmer's a good quarterback. I am not picking the Lions against the spread, though. I think it's,
Okay.
I think it's a 2-point final. So I would pick the Cardinals against the spread. The line is 3. I would pick the Cardinals against the spread, but I got the Lions winning like 22-20 or something ridiculous. It's
gonna be
in
close.
Detroit. Cross-country teams going east always struggle, or at least they don't come out as energetic. It's a 1 o'clock start.
Right.
That's 10 a.m. where they're used to. Your bodies don't really adjust to that time slot. I think Arizona's a good team, but I also think Detroit's going to be a good team this year.
Yeah.
I could be very wrong. Arizona could put up 50 and blow them out of the water,
Yep.
but I'm going to pick Detroit.
The Lions win if Abdullah doesn't end his season tomorrow.
Yes.
Which he did last year after 1 game. So.
They got Arizona might have the best running back in the game.
He's on one of my fantasy teams.
So that's one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford's going to do Stafford things. I think Stafford and Palmer are going to go back and forth. Fitz, he'll probably put up 80 something and probably get a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Detroit though.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be in the hands and the foot of Matt Prater.
Yeah.
I can see Matt Prater putting that game away. I'm excited for this team. I think I got them going 10-6 this year. I think, in my opinion,
I think I said 8-8 for the Lions, but I'm always a little under. Last year I hit it on the head. I said 9-7, but
you got to win.
I-
You got to win tomorrow in this respect that it's at Detroit. Stafford just got paid.
yeah, I agree.
Duela's healthy.
Got to come out firing.
Right. Against a good Arizona team. It's not like if you win, if you beat Arizona tomorrow, it's a good team you beat.
It is.
So
That's a good way to start the year.
exactly.
Also, Detroit needs this. They need it bad. The other two teams are dumpster fires. We already went over this. They're falling apart.
Detroit's best hope for a title might be
Like the Lions.
if the city of Detroit gets an MLS team. That might be their best hope.
They actually have a they do have a soccer team, but it's not like an MLS team. It's
It's Detroit. It's what is it? It's the DCFC or something.
yeah, their football club. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Division 3.
Yeah.
Like it's like not even
Mhm.
close to MLS, but still exciting.
Yes. All right. This is an interesting line. Steelers 8.5-point favorites in Cleveland. I know Cleveland is not a great team.
It's
They will be better. I'm saying 5-11 this year. They had a great draft.
They won the draft.
Unbelievably great draft.
A-plus
Even if I don't agree with the Kaiser pick, I understand why they did it, and I think Kaiser will be good. I don't know if he's the answer to their problems, but they addressed needs.
They did.
And Njoku, gonna be good. That's a good tight end. Jabril Peppers, I like Jabril Peppers. I think he's going to be very successful, especially with the way the NFL's going, where you pretty much play your nickel defense every snap. I think. Who was their first pick?
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Who?
How did I forget Miles Garrett?
Miles Garrett will not be playing tomorrow.
No?
No, he is.
Oh, I did read that.
Correct.
Good call.
Um,
I'm going to pick Pittsburgh by 10, but I would not be surprised. Like a 28-18, 27-17-ish final. Would not be surprised if Cleveland covers. Keeps it a touchdown game. They only lost 3 games by double digits last year, and they went 1-15. 3 games out of 16, and they went 1-15. They just didn't finish. I don't know if they will. They won't tomorrow, but they're going places. Hugh Jackson's a good coach.
they're going against a potential Super Bowl team.
And we did talk about that earlier. You think they're probably the second favorite in the AFC.
And I'm taking the Steelers tomorrow for several reasons. I got Roethlisberger starting in all 3 of my leagues, so I need him to go off for
You're a
me.
little biased.
You have AB, who said he's going to have the best year he's ever had, and you have Le'Veon Bell,
Which is hard to do. You're Antonio Brown to continue to improve.
and you have Martavis Bryant,
Who's back?
who's back. You have the best receiving
No
core that
more drugs.
Roethlisberger played with in a while, and it's at Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland's not good.
Yeah, I do agree that. Tough atmosphere, though, but
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's been there, done that.
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh, just because Cleveland is Cleveland. They will fall apart. It's just a thing that happens. It's just Cleveland is Detroit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Falcons starting out the season on the road in Chicago, the Fighting Trubisky's.
They probably win that game by 40.
It's a 6-point spread in favor of Atlanta.
Yeah,
This score is going to be 40-10. Trubisky had a good preseason.
He
I
did.
think he's the starter, right?
Yes.
I should have done some research.
I should have looked into
Done
it.
that.
So Trubisky can't play every position.
No.
But you do have Jordan Howard.
Yes.
Who
was on 2 of my fantasy teams.
He's also on one of mine. He was several people's number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Howard,
I
please
got him in
do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing.
Don't do anything against the Lions. That's fair.
Shut down against the Lions. And if you just
but yeah,
disappear
Like Derrick Rose.
Like Derrick Rose, yeah.
Go AWOL for a week, but you give me a heads up, so I bench you.
Yes.
And the Falcons are my NFC favorite to go back to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to come out tomorrow firing. They're very upset with how last season ended.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry to the Bears, but I'm about to get smoked.
Yeah, they're going to get crushed.
I'm excited for them to open their new stadium.
I am
think
too.
it's
That
gonna be-
stadium was dope.
Except they have a Chick-fil-A in there.
Who they
Oh,
get to use?
Chick-fil-A is not open on Sundays.
They get to use one dime this season.
Yes. It was open when Alabama opened their season there last week against Florida State. So those fans got Chick-fil-A.
Never had Chick-fil-A. Nothing but good things about it.
I've
We
had
need
it a
to
few times. Just a couple times, not many, but it's pretty good.
We should take a lead in the
You
break trip
got
to
Atlanta, so we'll move on. Baltimore at Cincinnati. This is a tough game.
This is
Cincinnati's favored by only 1.5 at home.
probably my most intriguing game of tomorrow. Because I don't know what to expect from either one of these teams. I don't know what to expect tomorrow, and I don't know what to expect this year. Andy Dalton is a mediocre quarterback. He's the most average quarterback in the NFL. With that being said, he always finds a way to beat him in a playoff fight.
They've been to the playoffs 4 of his 5 years. Never won a game.
Nope.
But 4 of his 5 years they've made the playoffs.
getting there.
But I'm taking the Bengals. Got Andy Dalton, AJ Green for that reason. And it's at Cincinnati. I don't see the Bengals win by a lot. I'll take that. I got them winning by field goal maybe. So, Ben, who you taking?
I'm gonna say. Sorry, I lost my pace. I'm gonna say the Ravens just to break up the monotony.
That's fair.
We
That's fair.
we all hang out with each other too much. I think we all have the same train of thought. So like maybe just add a little diversity.
Disagreed a
here.
couple times.
Just a couple times, nothing too.
We're about to
specific.
disagree on the next game. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, we are.
I'm picking Cincinnati by field goal. The only reason I stayed away from Baltimore when making this pick is Joe Flacco did not play in the preseason. I don't know if he's going to be ready physically.
Joe Flacco's always ready though.
Is he though?
He's an elite quarterback.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it right now.
Bad dog.
Mike is watching right now, and he's like, Mike's argument
Mike
always
should be here.
is he should be here. He told us he'd be here, and he's not. So, thanks, Mike. His main argument on elite is winning a title. So when you tell him Joe Flacco's elite, he can't contradict himself and say he's not elite because Joe Flacco won a title. So that is always a fun argument.
I know
to have.
exactly what I'm doing every time I
Mhm.
go over.
Colts at the Rams, starting a 4 o'clock slate, and you bet I am picking the Rams.
I'm also taking the Rams.
Wowzers.
Yeah. What? You
What?
thought we were going to disagree?
Yes!
No, Rams defense is the best defense.
Oh,
Rams are the best defense.
Sorry, guys. I thought this was I thought
Nope,
I was going out on a limb.
Not a lot
The
of controversy here.
The Colts have one hope, and that is
Scott Dolzine's their quarterback for Sunday. Let's just point that out.
The Colts have Andrew Luck. That's all they have, and
And
he's
he's
not
not
playing. So
Whoever favored him by a point and a half, it's not.
3-point favorites
3
for
point.
Indianapolis on the road.
Not
We'll
gonna happen.
disagree on this one, hopefully. Carolina at San Francisco, and I am picking Kyle Shanahan in his debut. Cam Newton really took a step back, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how they use Jonathan Stewart and McCaffrey, and I think this is something that they may not have ironed out for Week 1 on the road against a decent defense and a guy in Brian Hoyer who he's a pro. He's a
Yes.
pro. He is not going to.
not
With the exception of that playoff game when he decided to throw only to the other team 2 years ago, he does not lose football games. He's a guy who keeps you in it. I'm picking San Francisco to not only cover the spread, they're winning that football game by 3 at home.
the Panthers are my biggest mystery team in the NFL this year. Don't know what Cam's going to do. Don't know what Christian McCaffrey is going to do. Don't know what that defense is going to do. I don't know what this team is going to do.
They probably have enough talent on their roster to win 10 games. But they also have enough talent on that roster to win 4 games.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Panthers though. I don't think 49ers have what they need. Not yet. They're not quite there yet. And I'm taking the 49ers because I think Cam's coming out with a vengeance this year. I think he leads them back to the playoffs. Or maybe he'll lead them to 2 wins. I am siding with you in the fact that I'm excited to see what McCaffrey and Jonathan Stewart do. They will be splitting roles week 1. McCaffrey, if he does what he did in college, can help lead them back to the playoffs. I'll take that spread.
I'll go Carolina on this one. Like you said, I don't think the 49ers have the weapons. And Panthers, I mean, yeah, they're a mystery team, but I'm also a betting man. I like to gamble. I'll gamble on.
Gambling. Here we go. We might disagree here. Seattle on the road, Green Bay. You're kicking this one off.
Kicking this one off? I'll take Packers. I'll go Packers. Because Aaron Rodgers, they are at home. Aaron Rodgers doesn't. Low battery.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'll go Packers just because at home, and they're a powerhouse team. They're going to shut down the Seahawks. It's not going to be pretty. I'll take them by 7. I'll have 7 on them.
Packers are winning the North this year.
I'd love to see the Lions win the North. I think it'll be close. It'll be real close.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay for several reasons. They acquired Martellus Bennett, who was a very big weapon with the Patriots last year. Jordy Nelson is healthy, looks great. And Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's at Green Bay. Seattle's in turmoil.
Even though he has a big creepy mustache.
What is that?
Yeah, what is going on there?
You can rock
Aaron Rodgers, get rid of it. You're freaking the children out, all right?
I am going with Seattle. Run game always wins in Green Bay. Whoever runs the football always wins there. It doesn't matter what season it is. It could be December, it's September. Run game always prevails. I'm going Seattle by a field goal on the road. Okay. So now we're into the 3 prime timers. Giants and Cowboys Sunday night. Giants favored by 5.5. I'm going to pick the Giants to cover. Dallas wins by 3. Giants cover.
36 hours ago, I had the Giants winning the game. I changed my mind because although Zeke was playing week 1, regardless, he is now probably going to play all season. And to me, I think Zeke he knows that, and he's about to go off. So he's got Dez. It's at Dallas. Dak is Dak.
Dak Prescott. You remember that one?
This guy, we were at O'Kelly's, one of the bars in Mount Pleasant last year. This guy goes on this rampage about Dak Prescott becoming the next great thing for the Cowboys.
Yep.
The next week, Tony Romo breaks his back. Dak Prescott becomes the starting quarterback, leads them to the number 1 seed in the NFC, and the whole time Ben's like, you gotta send me that audio.
You gotta send me the audio, man.
If they make the Super Bowl, I'm going to look like a genius. ESPN's going to want to hire me.
Also, let it be noted, Odell is questionable and most likely not to play tomorrow.
That's fair.
On the topic of the Cowboys, I want to give a little shout-out to Central. Cooper Rush is their backup.
Yeah.
Elite.
There we go.
Dak Prescott is one twisted ankle away. Cooper Rush is one Dak Prescott ankle away from starting. And although it's not related to tomorrow's game, I want to see Cooper Rush get a shot. He can make all the throws Dak can.
I agree.
But yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys. I think they're going to win by a touchdown.
Yeah, if Odell doesn't start, if he's not playing tomorrow, then I'll take the Cowboys. By 7. But if Odell is starting, I'll take the Cowboys by 3.
Okay. It's Monday night games now. Got 2. Doubleheader week, always week 1. Saints at Minnesota. Minnesota 3.5-point favorites at home. Fighting Sam Bradford's. Matt?
AP's making his debut against his former team.
In their stadium.
With that being said, I'm taking Minnesota. I like that defense. Drew Brees lost his number 1 weapon. And I don't know what AP is going to do. I think tomorrow, the winner of that game relies on AP. AP rushes for either 30 yards and the Saints lose, or AP goes off and they win. But as of now, solely because it's at home and I like their defense better than the Saints, I'm taking Minnesota.
Saints have Drew Brees. Doesn't matter who he's throwing it to.
The fighting Drew Brees.
Drew Brees could throw it to himself and he could win the game. It doesn't matter. he'll put the ball in the guy's hands. It doesn't. I got the Saints by 14 just because of the passing game
On the road.
on the road.
That's interesting. I think Saints are going to win, but not by 14. Here we go. Last game of the weekend, LA Chargers. They're not playing in their soccer field yet. They're on the road at Denver. Denver getting 3.5 points, and I think they probably win this game by 21. I have no confidence in the Chargers. I'm hoping that they get blown out so that Phil Rivers starts throwing 80,000 yards because I got to start him thanks to the Buccaneers game getting pushed. But I do not have confidence in them. I don't have confidence in Denver. I just don't have any confidence in the Chargers that much.
I would agree. I'll take Denver by say 19. Why not? It's because I don't know what the Chargers can do, and I don't think they're going to do anything anyways.
They do have Joey Bosa, which is about it's nice, but I don't know. I don't like Phil Rivers has never been my favorite.
No, I don't like Phil Rivers at all.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Uh-oh.
On the road.
Chargers with Phyllis.
I like Rivers.
Liam calls him Phyllis Rivers.
Of course he does.
His grandma.
I think I'm not impressed with anything Denver has. I'm not impressed with anything the Chargers have, but new city, even though it's in Denver, it's a fresh start. I think Philip Rivers is going to have 3 touchdowns tomorrow, 200 yards. I'm taking the Chargers with the upset.
Well, that does it for NFL Picks Week 1. Well, you'll have to let us know next week how we did.
Yep.
Follow us on social medias at Leading the Break, at Sloppy Joe's Media. Subscribe to YouTube. At Shehanigans on Facebook.
At Shehanigans 1, I think. I think someone stole my Shehanigans already.
Fantastic.
I know, right?
It's probably Liam.
It probably was Liam. He probably overheard me talking about it.
Probably
Liam.
Liam.
Take this.
Probably Liam.
Oh, brother.
That podcast will get rolling here soon. Very excited
fairly
about
soon.
that.
Probably start maybe tomorrow or Monday.
Wowzers.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Breaking news.
And it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit hard, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever you identify as. I don't mean to put you in a box.
That's how this show's gonna end.
So this,
this is gonna let.
just
That's it.
let me go.
Matt Scher, enjoyed having you on. Your debut host. How'd it go? Have
I
fun.
liked it.
Have fun.
I'm excited.
All right.
I think the future can really explode with this.
Ben Sheehan promoted to no longer a tech guy. Sorry,
Yep.
Jeff and Tyler. He's not the tech guy anymore.
People have to listen to me now. Look at that.
All right, for Matt, Ben, Richard Kowalski. See you next time.
Yep.
Leading the Break.
America.
America.
Go Lions.
Go Lions. Go Tigers.